assembly. For example, when Faith Apuko was the clerk and Guy was the speaker plus the majority leader, the assembly itself lost 367 million. This money is gone. Nobody is talking about it. What was done, Apuko was fired, or rather impeached. Then what followed, Guy assessed his impeachment, resigned. This man is not being talked about. And even after his resignation, he got into the back door and got other appointments. And having sensed defeat from the floor of the assembly, or rather maybe from the pressure from the people, he was given another position. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying, our people, and especially people from their constituency, when we are doing the election, we should now look into the people whom we are electing to the assembly. Do they represent our interests, or they represent their stomach? A lot of money has been lost within the Omabay County. And there is no any other MCA, there is no a single MCA who is bold enough to talk about some of these issues. Like even some of the issues that we are talking about agriculture. We just need policies to fix agriculture once and for all. When we talk about low rates, do we have any member of the county assembly before the floor of the house who has ever talked about fixing agriculture, and especially the low rates at RIAT? Do they wait for the people to storm RIAT is when issues are fixed? So these are some of the issues that when we have refined, when we have competent leaders, they can do it in the assembly. When you look at somebody like Owaka, who has been the MCA for Kosai Ward, not even a single motion has been sponsored before the assembly to fix aid agriculture, to fix road, to fix any other devolved function. So our people should be very careful into whom they elect into this position. My friend Kaloma is very articulative, and when I listen to him, he represents the people. He can talk about the issues that are touching the people on the ground. The same should extend to Kobwai Ward. We have had majority leader for the second time. This is the second time that he's serving as the majority leader. One of the most powerful and lucrative positions that he can now use to even bring more service to the people. But this guy is just obsessed being close to the governor, being close to the Orange House, and I don't know. So we have issues, and one of the serious issues we have is our county assembly. The governor may have his own issues to be fixed. Like we are saying, there are so many scandals he has been doing, and is going scot-free. But what are our members of the county assembly doing? What are they doing? So the backstop with the people to elect competent leaders into these positions and to do what we call their oversight role. So what I'm saying is that when I get into this position and in 2027 when I become the area MCA, I will ensure that there's accountability. I will work with the people and ensure that issues affecting the people are directly addressed to the people and they are sorted within the same are sorted out. So those are some of the things that we must be very categorical about. Whom do we elect? When you look at Kosai Ward, when you give a worker the microphone, and especially with the funeral, you will say so many things that are not even helpful to the people. But before the assembly, they are very quiet. No motion, no oversight role. And like we have witnessed in the past, there's this funny character in Omabay County called Robert Nyasona, where all the tenders they are awarded, he wins all the tenders. We have also seen some of the close associates to the governor, like the Kasipul Kabondo, the Kasipul MP, where he has the tender to do the draining of Omabay County, and there is a total mess. So we have a problem. Not anybody, not even an MC is bold enough to stand with the people to oversight and to blow some of these things that are happening in our government. So I will be very categorical. We need a total overhaul. The sycophants should go home. The first sycophant that should go home is one political conman Ogindo, followed by a worker. Then a people should leave plus Baskil. For Ndewa to develop, we need competent leaders, those who can address our own issues, not those who can benefit and those who can use their cronies to siphon money or to siphon public money. So maybe we'll come, maybe you bring another topic, we'll talk about it. But I think that is where our problem is, the county assembly, and especially whom we elect into positions.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. I think we have almost tackled some of the areas that I wanted us to tackle. Let us jump into another area that we've really talked about, agriculture. Yes, yes, my brother Hilary, you wanted to say something before you add.
Yes, I wanted to say something. I think we talked about yes.
Before you add something,
I think we've talked about. Oh, it's okay.
Just hold on a second, and I'll give you our next in our next segment where we want to discuss briefly on the challenges that we have in the education sector, and in just 5 minutes, I want you to tell me what you can do better in the education sector, Mr. Hilary. You've seen the performance of your schools in your ward and in Diwa in general going down many years.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I come from a ward which is blessed with an extra county school, that is Mirogi, boys and girls. But so unluckily, they are not really doing well as per expectation. Being an extra county school, we need, we want a better facility that can address the education requirements of our kids. Sorry?
Mirogi has been there for a while. What is the problem?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. I can hear you. Myself.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You are loud and clear.
You are loud and clear. Go ahead, Hilary. You are loud and clear.
Thank you. I was saying my ward as an extra county school and many other more upcoming secondary schools. However much as an MCA, I'm limited to ECD. Now, we have several ECD schools within Kosewe ward. Sad enough, as I said earlier on, in the financial year 2023-2024, we only happened to have done one called Yembe in my ward. But if you look at how many they are, I think in a ward we should at least do two, if bad in a financial year. So that when we hit the 10 years, or rather the 5 years, at least we've done something on the ECD. My main issue with our ECD classrooms, most of the primary schools lack basic facilities. Some children are being taught under trees, to be honest, and I can mention schools. Some are under shoddy mabati, old mabati houses. Somewhere like Rairi, Commerce and unfinished one, and many more. I want to measure on them once I assume office to ensure the floors are done to avoid the to handle the issue of mineme in the schools. Agoge plaster.
Gigas menace.
Gigas, yes.
Please.
Yes, Gigas. Thank you for that correction. You say at times when we are on a platform like this, sometimes
you forget. I know.
Yes. So there is an issue of jiggers in these schools, and when a child is being beaten on the feet by the jiggers, he or she loses concentration, and school basically need 100% concentrated child to understand whatever the teacher is teaching. The level of jiggers in our schools attacking children, and for this matter, young pupils were developing, is a matter of concern that should be addressed. All those ECD classrooms that are already built, they need to be repaired. Most of them have broken floors, which have obviously turned into clean soils. And soil is a breeder. Bare ground is a breeder for jiggers that attacks kids. Another thing, the children learning under trees in a number of schools, which others have mentioned. I will have a candid discussion with the governor by that time. I don't know who or she will be in 2027 when I assume office. I don't know who the governor will be. But whoever will be there, I will have a candid discussion with that governor to discuss the manner in which we can have this special situations in different schools. For instance, there is no need to continue building an ECD in Rachuonyo while in Mdewa there is no ECD. I think when I visit a governor and have such these discussions for us, so that we weigh which area needs urgent attention on matters of constructing ECD classroom. Like this year, if you look at the total budget for Homa Bay County, it sits at 11.5 billion shillings, and a classroom was only allocated 1 million, for God's sake. 1 million, for God's sake, an ECD classroom. One was to be built at 1 million each. That is the 1 million which was used in Yembe ECD in my ward. Now, if you look at it well, my area has poor access roads. If you award someone with 1 million to go and do an ECD classroom, obvious outcome, the contractor will do a shoddy work there. Number one, he has a problem accessing that Yembe ECD. Number two, the owners of the vehicles which will be bringing in materials has to also overcharge due to inaccessibility of this road. I think we have also to review the locations we are making for ECD ECD classes in my ward. That is on the issue of education. That is my all for the people of Kosea.
All right, Hilary. You know.
On education.
I will pose the same question.
I'm forgetting one thing. May I add something?
Yes.
There is a bursary that has been devolved to ward level. What I'll do, I will ensure that during disbursement of these bursaries, it is the locals who decides on who is supposed to be awarded this bursary, not as it is happening now. The area MCAs appoint who he thinks should be given the bursary, leaving out the most vulnerable students. When a bursary is given, yes.
Now,
when
Hilary, Hilary, I'm just interjecting a bit. Sorry, before I forget my point, because here we want to inform the viewers and look at the way of doing things in a better way in the world. Now, when I look at when I hear you speaking, I see a leader who is who has got a vision, but wants to do things in a better way compared to the current MCA in the area, who is a worker. Now, my vision to the people and to the leaders who are aspiring is that when you are doing an ECD, if this was a policy, if you were to do it at the county assembly and have a policy and have a designer on board and have a contractor on board who will do all the ECD classes in the entire county in one design, that accommodates a certain number of students and done in a proper way. When you're talking about a classroom built with 1 million, I want you to give me a value. This is a classroom. From the way you look at it, it could be having about maybe 30 students. This is an ECD class in South Africa. It could be having about 30 students. You see the chairs are there, the tables are there, and they also have mini laptops in the ECD classes. Plus, there is electricity in that classroom. Have we reached this level? Have we reached this level as the people of Mbiwa? Have you tried to visualize the way I'm looking at an ECD class versus the way you are looking at an ECD class? My ECD class will have chairs. My ECD class will have electricity. My ECD class will have at least 30 to 40 students maximum. Do we visualize this kind of classroom, or we are just talking about some constructor coming to construct a room without windows, without a door, without a floor, without electricity, then we without any facility? This is early childhood learning education, and early childhood learning education has got so many things that people are not talking about. It is not just about the structure. It is about the facilities that will be brought into that classroom that is important to your children. And one, we don't have even the classroom done in a in a good standard way. We have them done pathetically. How do we address this as a policy? And for leaders, you, Kevin, this is a question that I would want you to look at and see. I personally and Afrik, we are against MPs or MCAs giving out money in form of bursary. That is not the work of a leader. That is not the work of a leader. In the absence of you as a leader giving money, lining up my parents in the village to give them checks as handouts. Hillary has said that he will give out money in a transparent way. I say no to that. You are not, that is not your work as an MCA. To give out money in the village, that is not your work. To give out checks in the village, that is not the work of an MCA. How can we do this better? Kevin.
Thank you, Nick. Nick, the only problem we have in our country are our leaders with the roaring appetite. I believe that even 1 million, when it is allocated, it can be used properly. But again, if you have people who are really leaders who really have interest of the people, then these are some of the deliberation that can be made in the assembly. At least doing 2 million for quality projects and for standard buildings. Like what I will say, Mr. Nick, what we normally have or what we normally see our MCs doing is just doing the building, just putting up a structure that some of them are not completed, the floors are not plastered. But again, just before even the completion, they allow learning to take place because they are now looking for shortcuts. So what I will do to ensure that we have standard structures that actually will support learning. One, we have talked about the accountability. We don't need the MCS doing the building. The work of the MCS is to do oversight and to ensure that the work that is done is quality. So we need maybe what I will say we are missing is the legislation bit, the policy that we put in Parliament to ensure that there are uniform buildings or uniform structures for all the wards, just to ensure that some of the areas where the MCs get the loopholes to siphon the money are sealed. So another thing that I will ensure that is done, just doing the building itself, as the building for the ECD is not enough. We need to put in the required facilities. Like after the construction, we need to plaster those rooms. We need to ensure that we have learning tables. We must ensure that we have learning chairs for each and every student. It is very unfortunate that in some of the ECDs that we have, the building is complete without even the chairs, forcing some of the children to sit on the floor, or maybe to have funny structures where they sit while learning. So what I will ensure is that once a building is done, they are properly furnished. We must have learning tables for all the students. I will also ensure that there are chairs for the students just for learning to take place. And sometimes you also forget we do the construction of the ECDs without doing a latrine, or where the students, or where rather the children will helping themselves. So we need also to put things in order to ensure that at least they are also access to the latrines. And again, Nick, I also believe that this is possible. I believe it is possible. There's a lot of money that goes into somebody's pocket. That if we just do our work well, the oversight bit, I believe we can use this money in a better way. Like doing everything, building, putting up an ECD classroom, that is not enough. We also need manpower. Most of our ECDs, they do not have qualified or trained teachers. Some of the people we engage are actually not trained, because for us it is cheap. It is easy to pay somebody 2,000 or 3,000 just because we don't need to, just because we complain that there is no money. But I believe even in an ECD, when an ECD is put up, we also need now to budget for the teachers. Do we really have trained personnel or trained teachers in our ECDs that can handle our children? And again, I believe, Nick, that our county government is capable of at least doing a feeding program for some of these children. Some of them come from a very humble background. That some of them, if you don't bring that food or that feeding does not come in, then learning is also interfered with. So can we find a way of now even budgeting for the feeding programs for the ECD children? So I believe if we tame corruption, I believe if we seal all the loopholes, then this is possible. And this is the only way we can give a quality education to our children. Remember, ECD is the foundation. If you don't lay a good foundation, it means that even the learning itself will not be possible. So I believe our area MCAs. The only problem we have is that we don't have MCAs who can present us, or rather can discuss some of these issues or propose them as policies. So we need a feeding program to our ECDs. We need at least one trained ECD teacher. We also need a well-furnished ECD classroom and also a latrine. Then maybe on the issue of the bursaries, because it is very important that we discuss it, because it is also a way of promoting learning. I think the ECDs, the bursaries rather, they are supposed to assist learners from very humble background, those who cannot afford the school fee. What we have seen in the past is MCAs literally giving out the bursaries. Some of those who are given the bursaries are people who are able. They are just about rewarding the cronies or the sycophants. So we also need a transparent and equal distribution of bursaries to the most deserving people of this country, or rather learners of this country. So maybe that's what I can say. But generally, in my ward, that is Koboi ward, so far we have seen a Poche ECD. That was the first ECD that was put in place because it's next to it is the home of the area MCA. Then we have also seen Nyasosedi and Gotkujoi. So the three ECDs are done to completion and learning is taking place. But it's very unfortunate that the ECDs that you have mentioned, and maybe allow me to say this, the ECDs that have been put into place by the area MCA are ECDs from Kasirime. That is his clan. So we have also seen another style of leadership, that the project you can only take to your clan. And the rest of the areas, one, we have Osogo, we have Randore, we have Nyakotadundo, we have Ratil. So those are schools that are within other clans that are not touched. So in my ward, we have seen a clan MCA who does not want now to ensure that there is equal learning or there's equal development in all the wards. So these are some of the things that we are going to tackle.
Kevin, it means that you come from Kasarime clan, so it means you come from Kamdar clan. So it means that the people of Kamdar, they don't need ECD classes, or they have got enough ECD classes, or they'll be left behind in terms of learning.
I'm not saying that. I don't know the criteria that the ARMC is using now to ensure that we have the ECDs, because according to what we have seen on the ground, are the completed ECDs that are within his clan, that is Kasirin. So we don't know when. We are asking ourselves, when will other areas also get the ECDs? So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say here is, we need leaders who have their people at heart, whether they supported you during the election or they did not support you.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing I will discuss.
Kevin, for that, we are almost winding up this show. We have done exactly 2 hours of our programming. We have got a lot to touch on, so I want us to be very, very, very brief as we wind up this program. George, you have been quiet for a while. Can you say something? We are talking about the education sector, and our leaders here are giving us what
Okay,
they
thank
feel.
you.
Yes. My
Uh,
question to
oh,
you, George, just before you go on and put your contribution.
yeah.
Uh, what do you think could be the best plans to have quality education and to make sure that we have enough teachers in our schools? Because I've realized that one of the major challenges that we have is the supply of the teaching staff in various wards or in the entire county. And nobody takes an audit of of the teachers that they have in their ward, especially the leaders that we have in either MCA or MP, they don't take into account that some of the schools are lacking teachers. I have had an incident where an MP or an MCA comes and says that, oh, you community A, you need a school? Yes, I'll give you a school. Who is providing the land? Kevin Owor is providing the land. Okay, Kevin, good. We have a school here starting from next week or next month. I'm bringing materials to start the classrooms for this particular school. Most of these schools have been started like that. I am one pioneer of a school in Nairobi, Shaurimoto Girls High School. It started from a primary school and now it's a girls' school. It's fully fledged school. I can tell you the paperwork that we did to start a secondary school was a lot. The design, the ministry had to come approve, the need had to be assessed by the Ministry of Education, to the construction and the design of the school, how it's going to be. This has to be approved by the ministry. But some of the schools that we are seeing in Nyanza and the schools which are coming up, nothing seems to be approved by the ministries concerned. It is an MCA comes up and say, you want a school, you will get a school, so that you can get votes. If we can look into the proper way of doing things, George, how can we ensure that we have better learning facilities and our schools are well equipped with the teachers? How do we ensure this?
Thank you, Mr. Mzalendo. I think I'm audible enough. Everyone is capable of getting me. We are taking the matter of learning as a joke, let me say in quotes, because normally, even the area MCAs, the elected leaders are not taking key part in making education better for everyone. Why am I saying this? You find your nearby primary school. Like mine, I'm very embarrassed. From where I come from Kanyadoto Ward. I have a school just next to my place called Nguku Primary School. I completed that I learned in that school several years back. But whenever I visit the school, it is embarrassing. Why? The long time office that used to be only one office at Nguku Primary School, it is the still office which is still there, and it is still office that is operating. So we have our area MCA. I understand he is just two and a half years in office and is trying his best to maintain or to have the uncompleted projects be into position. But we are not taking education into serious matters. The leaders we have elected have dumped the education sector and they are trying to fulfill their own stomach. I want to talk about the better learning condition of each and every child or pupil. If we want to have a ward, a community that is well interconnected with education, we have to, at first, be the first priorities of enriching our own community with quality skills, knowledge available. An MCA will not come and ask you that you need a school here, right? No, the communities around will emerge, will come together and say, actually, we have been struggling. Our children have to walk from this distance to the other side only to get education. Why can't we start education nearby? when you come to an office of an MCA and you present your case in a well-recognized, elaborate manner, I think there is no MCA who is mad who will just start chasing you away. The only problem with our people too is that we do not know how to outlaw, rather to give out our points. I'm not saying that we have good leaders though, but I'm trying to say, as we the people, we need also to know how to approach matters. We need also to know how to talk to our leaders, so that when you present your case, a leader has to get into his knee and say, okay, indeed, this matter needs a checkout. But whenever we criticize the leader, then you go there again, say, we don't have this, we don't have this. As always, if you criticize someone, he won't take keener information on whatever thing you are now saying or giving as a point. Second, we have to make all these leaders be into a watch. If you leave, for example, last time, when I'm giving an example of the current, not the so-called Gladys Wanga, when he was a women rep. That is in the section 2017-2022. Most of the people were saying or complaining that Gladys Wanga was not working in his office. But how could he now? How could she now manage to become a governor? The correct information I got from one of the superior people, or rather a crowd of people one day, is that Wanga was not having any person closer that was looking into his his project, her project. Sorry for using the word her projects. That is because people were now checking on to the governor's affairs, leaving the women reps affairs. Now that is, even in a normal state, a normal human being, if there's no one to look or to check into the project you are doing or undertaking, then you will take the advantage and say, okay, all these people are damned. Whatever thing I brought to them on the table, they will agree. But right now, our leaders are forgetting that we have learned students, we have learned pioneers, we have learned intellectual candidates who are able to rectify, who are able to see, and who are able to make conclusion where possible. We need not to be friendly with these leaders so that anything that comes for the community, you first be called as a priority. Why can't you also say, okay, this has come for the community? Why are you calling me? I'm just a person. Why are you calling me to benefit on this by myself? We have to say again that if we are tackling matters pertaining corruption, the corruption starts within you. If you are corrupt with yourself and your mind, then there's nothing good can come from a corrupt mind. Huh? We can't continue blaming our leaders. We can't continue blaming ourselves if we are not displaying what is exactly needed. Huh? We have primary schools that right now, ever since they started, have not been fenced. Why? Lack of cooperation, lack of teamwork, lack of intelligence from our leaders who can easily come out and say, this is wrong, this is right. We don't have leaders who are in touch with the communities. This is the greatest problem that is hindering our education sectors within our wards and communities. If by chance we could be having these leaders on board, each and every time we have meetings, we call them and say, okay, Honorable Apopo Lentana, why can't we have this because we have examined it, we have checked on it, and I see it can thrive. Why can't we have this? But a case where you be elected, you only be seen during or 2 months to election, you campaign again back, you go back to Nairobi. This won't help. You come and cheat us with several songs and everywhere, and you are not working. This won't help us. There is a road concerning the road connecting. I don't know whether it's based on the MCA terms or not, but I think MCA can lobby for its construction. There's a road from Mandiwa connecting the Nyamanga High School. That one is in Kosewe ward, I think, if I'm not wrong. This road is pathetic. If you go there, crossing that road to the other side, you can even take 1 hour. But the road could be very accessible. If the road could be very accessible, you can even take a single 15 minutes to reach the high school. Go there during the rain season. My friend, you won't like it. We have the current working MCA is on the second term. He is not considering that as a priority. Why can't he make that so that the people of that community to acknowledge his work and say, actually, even if he's going for the third time, we have acknowledged his work and now he can be on the board. I'm very sad with the current situation because I myself, where I got more quality of education was from my primary schools. My primary school is where I got full equipped with knowledge, with skills. And that is the reason why now I can speak. But go to that school, very dark. They tried to bring for us electricity that nearly came. And I can only see one light when I'm going home. Current, I'm worried. Why is this? Google is the most of the performing best schools, and I know the developing money is being given, but where is this money going to? We have the selfish individuals who are taking the priorities of having the funds brought for the student to have their own aid. This is because we have the also committee members that they also prioritize their well-being.
George,
Yes.
we need to focus on time, please. Mzalendo.
Okay, I'm just winding up. I'm just winding up.
We may end up at midnight,
You know,
and some of us
when I
spend at some
give a
point
speaker
because
2 minutes,
we
they go to
also
5
want
minutes.
to contribute. I think
Okay. Just because I was not active anyway, that is
if
the reason
the
why
real time would be better because
I'm taking several minutes though. Let me just
also, I think we're doing an
let me just wind up so that I give an opportunity to the other person.
And he has not even hung up. Just continue.
My last point is this: we have to internalize ourselves. We have to get out of our humble abode. We have to make ourselves bold enough to face our leaders, to tell them that actually this is the right way that we should be going. We are learned. We are not ever like before. All these leaders need time, but if you don't force your issues into them, they will not force themselves into you. They will only come with a 50 shillings handout during the campaigns, and they give you to fold your eyes and say, okay, we have given you that 50 shillings that will cater for your health and everything for the next 5 years. My friend, if we are not going to take these actions, or if we're not going to take these matters into action, then we are doing nothing here. If we are not going to speak to these people, we are doing nothing. Even as we are the general, or rather the next generation of not even the next generation, we are the leaders right now. We need to come from our own station. I am kind of happy with Hillary for his standout. Kevin, the same. We have to come from our state of rest and say, enough is enough. We need change, and change starts with us. For better education system to be displayed within our wards, we have to be keen on even the teachers who give our students or our children wisdom. Thank you.
All right. That was George who learned
May I
in
add something?
Nguku Primary. Yes. I don't know what's wrong with your network.
Just one thing about whatever George has said. I hope you can hear me now.
We can hear you, but your camera is
That is
off.
a statement is made that we should visit the offices of an area MCA.
Hillary, please log in and log back. You're hanging up. You're frozen on the screen. You're freezing. All right, Kevin, you've heard about leadership, and people appreciate when young people come up and talk about it. I know so many people are listening to this particular show. They want young people, to come out to occupy those offices in leadership. Now, this brings us to the next phase of our discussion, and perhaps the last.
I'm
This is
back.
the last phase of our discussion. Hillary, you will say something. This is the last phase of our discussion, and we are going to talk about the influence of political party in leadership and what you are going to do about it. Hillary, go first and be very, very brief. We are winding up. The influence of political parties and what you are going to do about it. Or my ODM ticket. You wanted to be an aspirant. You can no longer buy. What are you going to do about it?
Hillary,
You are
Hillary,
not audible.
turn your mic.
Your mic is on, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Hillary, at all, at all. But turn your mic on and
You
off.
can't hear me.
Log in and come
Yes,
back.
now
Still, you can't hear
you are
me.
right.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Carry on.
Oh, thank you. Now, George, are you aware? Oma Bay MCAs do not have officers according to them. Are you aware?
What do you mean? Elaborate that.
In the financial year, okay. According to Oma Bay County, the MCAs do not have officers. So I was worried when you said we visit them into the offices and talk to them. Now, let me shock you on something here. In this financial year, according to Oma Bay County, MCAs do not have officers. They have
What do you
allocated
mean?
1 million for ECD, while they have allocated 4 million for each MCA to build an office. Do you know that?
What?
Every MCA has allocated 4 million to build an office. That means, according to Oma Bay County, all along MCAs do not have officers.
Hillary, let me just tell you
So they
something.
were awarded 4 million. They were added 4 million.
Hillary, let me just remind you on something.
Interesting. This is getting
Let me just remind you on something. You know, even in Kenya, from national government,
wait a minute. Wait, hold your thought.
Okay.
Wacha tukunywe maji kidogo, then we come back.
Haya.
Yes, Oma Bay, this is the biggest show in Eastern Central Africa, and it is talking about the MCA aspirants. These are candidates who have come out and they want to vie for these particular positions in various county assemblies in Kenya. Today, we are in Ndiwa constituency. Ndiwa constituency has approximately 51,000 registered voters. And here we are with Hillary, Kevin, and George, who are telling us what is happening in Oma Bay County and their aspiration and inspiration of what the county should look like, and especially the wards that they come from. Most of them are aspirants in 2027. We've had 3/4 of this particular show on the issues of where they stand on the issues of health, on the issues of education, on the issue of infrastructure. Now we look at on where they stand on national issues and values especially now that we have youth in politics. How are they going to contribute to the national politics and to the agenda to shape the political discussion moving towards 2027? Hillary, you said before we went for the break that MCAs have allocated themselves 4 million Kenya shillings, while ECD classes in their wards, they allocate 1 million Kenya shillings only. That is in the
Yes.
financial budget 2023-2024. And remember, in the last financial year, there was also a similar allocation. This is Uwizi, this is Tagari, this is theft that is happening here.
Wizi bila kazi.
Yes. Hillary, go ahead.
Now, sad enough, they were awarded 4 million to build the offices.
Hillary,
Remember,
come closer to your mic. Kuja karibu na mic. You are away.
they
Yes.
were awarded 4 million to construct.
Yeah. You are even getting lost. Can you log in and log back because you are frozen? You have a very important. Yeah, now, yes. Okay, now. Your network has a problem. Can you say something? We can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
We can't hear you. Log in, log back. George, Kevin, you've been quiet.
Yes. Thank you, Mzalendo. So from our discussion, Mzalendo, what you can get very clear is that we have leaders who are self-centered. Just imagine an MCA approving allocation of 4 million for their offices, and all along there have been offices, they are being visited. So I don't know where they have been operating. But an ECD is only allocated 1 million. And to make it worse, an ECD is done to low standard, no furnitures, no human resource. So that is the sad state of affairs we have in our wards. And again, maybe I concur with the Hillary. For the first time, I've seen a construction done from the foundation to Linton. And that is now the Kobwai Ward MCA's office. That is the only project that began this year that has not rested, from foundation to the Linton. And I was wondering where that money is from, but now I have it that it is 4 million that they have been allocated. So those are the kind of leadership we have, Mr. Nick. And what you're saying, that these leaders, they only want what is going to benefit them at the expense of the people. And that brings us to even how other finances are used, like when we have the locations, when you see bad roads, when you see substandard ECDs, we ask ourselves, where are the money moving to? And in my ward, when you even see an area MCA moving to the villages, and especially the only resurface, and especially during the funerals, where after the funerals they give a handout of 50 bob, people are told to line up for the handouts. And then you ask yourself, where is the allocation that the MCS gets to basically dish out in the funerals? So we get it from here that most of our MCs, they do the looting, and they only want what is going to benefit them. I also want to give an example of a place that the construction was done but shoddily. In Kobwai Ward, there is also a market that is called Osani Market. That market is done to completion without a single tree. Unfortunately, when you look at the budget and the big queue, there was everything, including the latrine. But to speak, no single latrine. Those are the kind of leaders we have. And I will plead with the people of Kobwai, those who are listening to us and those who are following. that in the next election, let us vote in leaders who have the ideas, leaders who really know what happens in the ground. Our leaders who want to fix the road, our leaders who have ideas for fixing the issues and everything. This is a question that you posted that will party use the influence in election? And I want to move very fast to that question that you posted. 2 days ago, we had the ODM grassroots election. And the election was done. But one thing I learned from the just concluded ODM grassroots election, that our people are no longer, our people today are not bothered about the party. This was witnessed in a number of polling stations where people literally chased away the election officials, saying that party has never helped them, that ODM as a party has never helped them. So this, I'm very happy that some of these messages that we say are really resonating well with the electorates. And for the first time, I'm not saying that I'm not in ODM. For the first time, we have seen people coming out clearly. People saying that the party has never helped them in any way. So I want to say, Mr. Nick, to the question that you posted, that even as much as we are members of the party, ODM, we are going for the primaries. And even after ODM, there are other parties that a candidate will use, including the independent party. But this time round, the message is very clear to the people. It is not all about the party. It is all about who a candidate is. It is all about policy. It is all about agenda. If you sell your agenda and you convince the electorate that you merit the seat, you have policies, then I think that will be the basis. That will form the part and parcel of election. We are not going to look at any party. You can either come with, you can choose to come with ODM, you can choose to use independence as the vehicle to propel you to the seat. You may choose to use the UDA. We may also consider registering the FFM party. So it will be agenda based. It will be what you offer to the people and not to the party. For example, I want to say this very fast, that right now we have ODM as a party, and we are very fortunate as people from Koboi Ward that we have our MCA who is also doubling as the majority leader, who is very close to the party, who is very close to the party chairperson, who also is seen walking around the party. Is there anything that has helped the people of Koboi with us being close to the party, with us being in the party? If the party it can help, or if you are being close to the party, you are being close to the Baba as a help, I think Koboi should be benefiting. But when you see
how that has helped you?
Then the party has never helped us.
No, the MCA will say, Nyoro ne wantia Giraila. We were with the Raila Odinga. Nyoro.
I also want
to, you know, things
I
like that.
I also want to pray that Raila is going to the AUC. And I want to pray for him to get that seat so that that narrative of helping Raila does not come in. And I believe for the first time that when Raila goes to Ethiopia or Addis Ababa, there is no any other area MCA, there is no any MP, there is no any governor who is going to assist him. It is only Baba and the AUC and the Africa alone. But it will be very stupid for the people to believe that an MCA will help Raila Baba, or even if Raila is on the ballot. How will an MCA help Raila? And in the past, we have been given we have been given candidates by the party, including governors. Have they contributed anywhere to the economy? Have they transformed things that we are asking for? So it is time for revolution, and people should know. And the GNCs began this revolution. They said they can do it without Raila, they can do it without Ruto. And they were asking the two to stay aside. We shall also ask Raila to stay aside in ward election, in member of parliament election. Let the people decide whom they entrust with matters of development.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Hillary, your mic was having an issue. I hope it is okay. Can you say something? Hillary, can you open your mic?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, now you are okay. We are now into another phase of this discussion. We are joined by Bonnie. Bonnie is also a panelist. So, are you an aspirant MCA in where Machakos or where Makueni? So we are joined by Bonnie here, who is a regular panelist here on Africa and House. I will be taking you on national issues, on issues that we think that you as the youth should be upfront in dealing with. Now, Hillary, this is a very, very important question that will inform your candidacy in 2027. There is this factor in Luo Nyanza. This is the ODM political party threat at the moment. And many youths of Babu Owino's age are leaning towards him to give them direct political direction in 2027. I strongly believe that the ODM party does not give the youth a chance in the political arena in a way that it should, according to its manifesto as a political party. Babu Owino has been sidelined many times, including when it comes to his ambitions and the seats that he wants to get. Notably, the parliamentary account chairmanship. I think that one was robbed from him. The minority leader, that one, he also wanted it, but I think he was told to sit back. And he also wanted to vie for a Nairobi gubernatorial race. That he was told no, it's Wanyonyi that we are giving the ticket to vie. Do you think that the Babu Owino factor will affect the elections in 2027? Or it is just an imagination that there will be a Babu Owino factor in 2027? And where will you be? Which side are you going to be on? Because Babu Owino will not be on the side of the government of national unity. This government of William Ruto and Raila. It's called what? Broad-based something.
Broad-based.
A broad-based.
Yes, broad-based government.
A broad-based bread that we all eat together. Yeah, it's called a broad-based bread that we all eat together. Where will
bread-based.
Yes, broad-based.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to be impartial. I don't really want to talk about ODM. I have never been a member of ODM. My people know, supporters also know, I've never been linked to ODM in whatsoever way. As it stands, I'm not linked to any political party. And severally on the forums, be it in the Arambes I've gone to, public meetings I've gone to, funerals and here and there, I've made it clear. My party as it stands is the people and the agenda I have for them. Now, you asked about the youth role in shaping our political future. And you've also introduced in Babu Oweno. To be fair enough, I would say that party nationally, party plays a critical role. Nationally, party plays a critical role mainly on issues to do with making of bills in the assembly, which supports the agenda of the day. At the county level, party does not play any role. At the county level, party does not have a clear role to play in the development of a county. We don't need ODM in Homa Bay, which is infested with only Luos, to drive home any agenda. For instance, in my area, people are told without being an ODM member, you can't cling to power. So I don't know that thing which is so hidden in ODM that someone has to be there. But I don't want to sound as if I'm attacking the party. I am of the school of thought that party does not play much role in the county government. Now, back to the issue of Babu Oweno. It's good he is a support, but also you can't depend so much on youths in Kenya, to be honest. One day they make you a king, tomorrow you wake up a commoner. We have seen people being praised on a night, tomorrow in the morning they are nobody. Now, on his political future and influence in the elections to come, obviously a day in politics is worth thousands of it. You can't ignore it. If he has said he will be against the then government to come, we must take him serious. For one, he has a following, not a small one, but a large following. That may affect the ODM and its side, but I don't really believe it will affect the people who really want development to come their way. Number one, specifically in my area, Kosewe, there is no amount of political influence that will hinder my claim to power in 2027. There is no amount of political party influence that will make the people not vote for Hillary Bob, the one addressing you here today. Because people are sick of I'm going to help so and so. They want ODM there and there, this and that. All those nonsense the people have abandoned back in my home ward. They want somebody who will deliver, a man who will look into matters of smart agriculture, a man who will look into safe, adequate water for the people of Kosewe, a man who will ensure all ECD classrooms are fit to basic standards, a man who will ensure health facilities, majorly the dispensaries within the ward have enough personnel and medicine within those dispensaries, a man who will make sure access roads are well done with expert engineers, not unpicked sideshows engineers. My people back in Kosewe will make a decisive decision that will shock the whole of Homa Bay County, because they will be electing a person who has gone to school well, a person who is well versed with knowledge of the county, a person who is well versed with the knowledge of the ward in its entirety. I grew up in Kosewe ward, went to school in Kosewe ward, and became an adult in Kosewe ward. I understand what a person in Kosewe ward is undergoing through. I know how difficult it is to walk on muddy road to school. I saw hell when I was going to school in this primary school. I don't want people who are born after me to undergo those hell. I have seen a level 4 hospital being reduced to a mere dispensary and the ambulance being taken away to areas we do not know. I don't want people to undergo such. I have seen projects stall simply because a new MC has been elected. So he has to abandon they already initiated projects. There is a project of water which has stalled in my ward simply because the project was being initiated in Kayambo, where the current working area MCA has zero influence. I don't want such bad leadership during my tenure. I will ensure every part of Kosewe ward have its equitable share without fear or favor, without saying here I got enough votes, here I did not get. And to wind up, to the doubting Thomases, this is the time Kosewe Ward is going to shock the whole of the country, the whole of the county, and the whole of the constituency, because they will elect Hilary Bob Kaloma. Whether they say I don't have the money to campaign, whether they say I don't have the people to campaign for me, but what I know, I have what it takes to be the area MC of Kosewe. It doesn't matter when, but absolutely it shall come to pass. To the people of Kosewe, I request for your support. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I can see we have Jojo Yanda, we have Kevin, we have Hillary, and we have heard how Hillary is spitting facts. We also have Dominic Mzalendo. I came a bit late because my network has been having some problems, but my name is Boniface Kimanzi. I am host for this Africa 24. Of course, the political show happens here every day from 10 p.m. But of course, today we had this special discussion for MCA aspirants here, and we are having a good time here. We also have Dominic Nyabuto. Dominic Nyabuto joined us, but I've listened to what Hilary Bob said, and I have this question for Hilary Bob. And before I just post my question, then this is a question that was asked by one of our followers here, and I think that my question to Kaluma is this: how will he ensure youth benefit from leadership on matters use and dam? Can you answer that one kindly, because this is a follower asking this?
Yes. Thank you. Is a man well known to me. Number one thing, I want to be very honest with this. Kosewe is rich on skills. Everyone who is needed on earth is found in Kosewe. Be it engineers to do our roads are found there. Tenderers for doing the supplies are found in Kosewe. All our youths who have gone to school and both who have not gone to school, be it a tender, the local people in Kosewe must be given a priority, be it a road construction. We have the best engineers in Oma Bay. The people, the local people, stands the chance to be employed there, with be it in doing roads and everything there. Only the youth from Kosewe Ward will be involved in such development works. Again, on the issue of youth, most youths want to be excelled on the matters of sports and culture. Through the Ministry of Sport and Culture, we shall ensure that just like other wards are receiving the sports opportunities, the sporting and culture opportunities, all youth in Kosewe Ward stands a chance to participate in both ball games, or let me be honest, both indoor games and outdoor games, and excel through the sponsorship of the county through sport and culture department.
Thank you so much. But you know, Hillary, you are one of the MCA aspirants in. You sit.
Kosewe Ward, Kanyamwa,
Kosewe Ward, yeah. Kosewe Ward. And personally, I've listened to your manifesto. But before I post my question, then I want to welcome my brother here, Dominic Nyabuto, so that he can give the opening remarks, and also he tells us from what he has heard. Do you have those rights qualification to be the leader, and how are you going to implement this manifesto? Because personally, I've been following politics for a long time. I'm not trying to be a general man. I'm not trying to generalize, but politicians, whenever they meet the citizens locally, in remote areas, either in towns. This is what they tell us. But at the end of the day, when they get there, they just change the locations, they change their phone numbers, and they quit
Thank you.
local areas. So,
Oh, thank you. You've asked how I'll be doing implementation of this manifesto. Number one thing I want to bring to your knowledge, once I'm an MCA, I won't be sitting in toilets. I will be sitting in a county assembly where bills are brought, discussed, where budget is discussed, where allocation is done. For example, if you were here earlier, I was surprised in an allocation whereby an office of an MCA is allocated 4 million while an ECD is being allocated 4 million. I will sit there to argue with my fellow MCAs to revise this allocation to a favorable amount. For instance, for you to do a standardized ECD classroom, you don't need a million to do it. You won't do any work there to build a standardized ECD classroom. 1 million is less. So I will fully participate in making of the budget to ensure my people in Kosewe get an equitable allocation of resources that are able to address the basic needs, for it, be it in education, be it in health, be it on the road and infrastructure, water and irrigation. Yes.
yes, that is Kaluma, and of course, that is the question that my good friend has answered. But Dominic, my good friend, I know you have listened to the.
Sorry. Just a minute. There is a question. Someone is referring to use and dump. Now, I would like to tell my friend there that I don't use and dump people. I'm going to cling into power with the help of everybody. And I'm not going to use anybody and dump everybody. To be honest, everyone is going to have an equal share in the government opportunities that will arise. I cannot lie here that an MCA has a special kitty for employing anybody. If an opportunity like that arises, I shall link. But there is no specific allocation where an MCA goes and employs so on and so here and there. But what I will make sure, okay, simply is asking people who will help me so closely in politics. Everybody is helping me so closely. Anybody who goes to a polling station and votes for you, that person has helped you closely. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Dominic, I know you have listened to these future leaders, and they are saying 2027 they will be in the ballot. Something you have to say, Dominic, because I know we have youth nowadays who are really trying to venture into politics. But I can see my good friend here, he is having those ambitions for 2027. For same word, you are in the safe hands. Dominic, give us your opening remarks.
Yes. Asante sana my brother kwa kunipea nafasi. You know what? Sometimes mimi nachakanga sana. Unajua I think these are all youths. Wanataka kuwa MCS. But sometimes let us be realistic. Unajua saa hii wanatafuta kura, wanaweza ongea smart. Lakini vitu huko kwa ground wakisachukua hata unaweza pigwa mateke kwa hiyo ofisi ukitolewa nje ukienda kuuliza kazi. But ngoja niseme maybe ama hawatakuwa hivyo. Tushazoea. Nowadays mtu akitaka kiti anakuja kwa wananchi, tukisampea anaingia mitini, hata ana change number immediately after kutangazwa na IBC, ana changing number. But mimi nimesikiza majamaa, if they mean from their hearts they want to help people, sisi tunaona vitu kwa ground venye ziko saa hii. Kama mimi penye natoka Kisii,
MC wetu tangu tumpigie kura my brother Tony, hatujawahi muona. Anasemanga ako meeting Tanzania, ako benchmarking sijui Zimbabwe. Sasa unashindwa mtu tulimchagua aende benchmarking Zimbabwe, kama tulimchagua ingie pale vijijini asaidie maparapara mbaya, asaidie wananchi, asaidie wale watoto wenye wazazi wao wajiwezi wapeleke shule, lakini hiyo haoni. Tulimpigia kura akaenda akakura akashiba. So to my brother Iran, Pop Karuma, sijui Karuma, I support you my brother. You just go there when unasema utadamu. Na if you are serious, unajua Mungu anakuona. Siku hizi watu wanadanganyanga lakini wakumbuki Mungu aliye mbinguni anaona. Anyway, I support you, enda na hiyo roho uko nayo, just utapata ile kitu unataka, na ukisapata saidia wananchi, tusaidie jameni. Kuna watu wengine si ati hatuwezi uliza kura, tutauliza, lakini sasa kama mimi mwenyewe, mimi amwagudi chief campaigner, lakini kura mimi sitaki. Nataka niangalie kutoka mbali wale wenye tunachagua venye wanatufanyia. Hiyo tu ndio naweza. Wewe ndio nimepata by the way ukiongea, sijua wengine sikusikia, lakini wewe ndio nimepata ukiongea. Hiyo roho uko nayo, enda nayo hivyo, usaidie wananchi. Ukisapata Mungu atakubariki, utapata ile kitu mtu ambaye anaomba Mungu atampa, na Mungu akisaa kupea, na wewe saidia wale wenye wamekupea. Juu hata wewe unaona my brother, saa hii Kenya imekuwa ngumu. Tunapea mtu kura kabisa, lakini akienda kwa mkutano anadanganya, maneno yanatoka kwa mdomo yake ni moja poa, singine zote kama ameongea maneno 100 yote ni ya uongo. Please tunakuomba, kama unaenda, kama utashinda kura zinazokuja, try to help youths. Kwanza mwanzo youths ndio wako na shida hii Kenya. Mahali popote youths ndio wako na shida. Ukisaingia kwa hiyo kitu my brother, saidia youths. Youths sai kila mahali wanalia. Youths wanalia kila mahali. Mimi naomba tu.
Well, I think we are coming to an end of this edition of Kenya Future Leaders and the debate. We have done almost 3 hours of this session, and I'm happy that we all had to share our ideas on what we felt was good for our wards. And we learned a lot from the candidates. We've learned a lot of looting going on in Homa Bay County, where MCAs have allocated themselves 4 million, and yet they allocate only 1 million for ECD classes, and the 4 million are for their offices. So each and every financial budget, they allocate this kind of money. I hope you are listening. I hope you are watching the program. We started at around 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Kenyan time. We have done 3 hours of this particular edition. And areas that we have covered is education. And the candidates here were very, very articulate on matters of education. They want to see as many schools grow in Mbiwa constituency and perform better, and materials provided in the schools. In the health sector, they also touched a bit on the health sector and what they feel that should be done on the health sector. Adequate facilities, make sure that the doctors are in those hospitals. That is all the people need. And economic empowerment. We talked about poverty, how the industries like Kigoto are no longer working. And yet we are entertained with a lot of PR coming from the government. So this is some of the things that the youths are talking about, and the future leaders. They talked about poor road networks in the entire entire Homa Bay County. The MCAs are allocated money, but the work is shoddy compared to the neighboring counties like Kisii, where the roads are maram, but they are all weather roads. that people can use. Today it's raining, the farmers can't get their produce to the market because of poor road networks throughout the world. Guys, I've been your host, Zalendo kama kawaida. Godi was here, George Oyanda. George, did you get to say something? And many others who were there before. Kevin was here earlier, the FFM leader. Asante sana, Kevin, for being part of the show. George, thank you very much for being part of this discussion. I am glad that you guys were able to be part of this programming today. As we wind up, sisi kama wazalendo wa Kenya, we will keep you informed, keep you active in whatever seats that you are aspiring to get, whether it is the Senate, whether it is the presidency, whether it is the MP, whether it's the women rep. This is the biggest discussion in East and Central Africa. This is where all the Africans meet, and it is the first one in Kenya. So we will cover each and every constituency in Kenya and ensure that we bring for you the leaders what they think about representation, what you feel about them, so that you make an informed decision when you are faced with that ballot box and ballot paper. So I want just to give Kaluma a chance to give his closing remarks because we are winding up the show right now, and then George, then we wind up and move to the next.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Kaluma. Go ahead, George or Kaluma. Who's going first?
Okay, let me take the chance
Yes.
because I think I'm getting into another meeting just right now.
Can you hear me now?
Let George go first. George, go first, very fast.
I'm glad for this session, and I'm glad for the host. You
Can
have
you hear
done
me?
a wonderful job for bringing this platform into action.
Can you hear
and
me?
active.
Yeah, wait, yeah, we can hear you. Just wait. Yeah.
Okay,
George,
thank
go
you
ahead.
so much. I would like.
No, George, wait. No, Hilary, wait. George is on the mic. George is on the mic. George is on the mic, Hilary. Please wait.
Let me continue.
Yes, continue.
I want to thank everyone who made it here, and I want to thank Mzalendo for a wonderful deed he's doing to bring all this into position. Actually, the leaders have to be brought into books for them not to squander or embezzle the funds that they are being given from the county government to the national government. I'm glad, just as the way I said, I was an oversight person who was checking onto the ground, and I'm glad for my younger brother Hillary and my brother Kevin for their standout being on this matter on 2027. I wish them the very best, as I too aspiring for the member of parliament Ndiwa constituency, because actually if the Gen Z is leading from the bottom, why should he not lead from up to the top? Thank you. God bless Africa 24. God bless everyone. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you, George. George, make sure. Thank you for the fact checking. Thank you for being on the background. George was doing a fact check in whatever what you guys were saying, and he did a good job. George, thank you very much. And I hope that you will tell your friends about Africa 24, and make sure that you subscribe so that when you have a show tomorrow or Monday, you can jump in and give your contribution. Normally, we have shows on a daily basis. So karibu sana again to Africa 24. Hilary, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Africa 24. I really appreciate this forum. It's given me a platform to talk to my people. I hope it will be aired to also the people of my ward. to listen to my aspirations for them. To wind up, I would like to ask everyone in my ward for support. Go outside there, preach my agenda for the people of our ward. We have the richest ward. We can do much better than any other. We have all it takes to go greater heights as a ward. Please go outside there, be it in churches, sell Kaluma, be it in funerals, sell Kaluma, be it on the market areas, just sell Kaluma. I have enough facts to make our ward the greatest of all times. Thank you so much. God bless the people of Kosewe. God bless Ndewa. God bless Soma Bay. God bless Kenya. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Hilary. And you look like Kaluma, the original Kaluma in Parliament. Kaluma, Kaluma and I are friends. Are you related? Are you related to Kaluma?
No,
You guys look alike.
no.
You are
I
you have got the
you,
same complexion as Kaluma. You laugh
you
the
know,
same way.
you know
You
in Luo,
ask your dad.
when you are born,
Mom,
you
ask
know
your
in Luo
mother.
when you are born, you know in Luo when you are born,
Eh?
the one your mother tells you to call the father becomes your automatic father. So I never know.
No, you need to look for Kaluma, your brothers. Kevin. Yes.
I want to sincerely thank my mentor, my friend Mzalendo, for the invite. And indeed, it has given us the opportunity to link up with the people of Kosoko, Ndewa, and Homa Bay at large. So indeed, it was a great opportunity to address some of the gray areas of our concern, and to tell the people indeed what we want to do for them once we get into the office. I want to tell the people of Kosoko, those who are listening to us, and those who are following, that indeed time has come for Koboi to get a leader. The time has come for Koboi to get one who can represent them, one who can represent their interests, one who can ensure that there is change in our midst. Arranging from various areas that we have highlighted, I want to assure each and everyone that you have the time to make the right choice. 2027 is the time that we can have a reform within our ward. We have a date with the people of Kosoko. We have a clear blueprint on how we are going to fix Koboi once and for all. And I want to ask the members of the FFM, the Freedom Fighters Movement, you have done a tremendous job of keeping the government of the day on check and balance. Not anybody should threaten any member of the FFM. We are moving across the constituency. And I want to thank God that even our members, our brothers from Kosera borrowed a leaf from us. At least we are now seeing the courage, the bravery extending to Kosera Ward, moving to Kabwatch, and Kanyaru not left behind. So I want to assure the people of Kosoko that our current MCA has done much below average. And in 2027 is retiring. So it will present us with another opportunity to elect a leader who will fix the roads, who will fix the ECDs, who will fix the water, who will fix our health facilities once and for all. And within 1 year of our tenure, we'll ensure that at least you will be able to see some of the changes. We shall continue moving from one home to another, door to door, market to market, funeral to funeral, and wherever we can meet our supporters. The message is FFM. And the message is a new dawn for the people of Kobwai. Your leader has listened to you. We have known what you want, and you are ready to take Kosoko to the next level. I want to ask the current MCA that you have failed the people, and 2027 is your year to go home. Please don't interfere with the election in Kobwai Ward. There is no preferred candidate for anybody. You don't have a choice. You don't have freedom. You don't have a right to tell us whom to elect. The people of Kobwai will make a choice. And I want to assure them that when I get into the office, I will not disappoint them. I will ensure that there is a proper legislation, proper oversight, and proper representation of the people. I will hold the executive accountable. Each and every shillings that the people that come from the taxpayers' money will have to be accounted for. Otherwise, thank you. We look forward for another show.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for articulating your issues properly, and definitely the people of Kobwai heard you loud and clear. I am happy that I raised you well politically, and you are able now to face the incumbent directly. We needed a freedom of speech, freedom of expression, because that is what is in our constitution. Leaders should not feel that they are entitled to those particular positions that they hold. Those positions belong to the people, and they are vested in the constitution. The people have got the power. You saw what Gen Z did the other day. The power is within the people. It is not within the police force. It is not within the armed forces, but it is with the people of Kenya. And they are protected by the constitution of Kenya. That is why we have this civic education here on Africa 24, so that we make informed decisions. I believe today that so many people heard you all over the world, had your aspiration and your ambitions as future leaders of Kenya. I wish you all the best and make Africa 24 your home. I hope you will be a regular here on Africa, even when we discuss matters political. When we dive into Okiya Mtata versus William Ruto, I would want to know where you fall in. Personally, I think this is a new opportunity for Kenya to look deeply at what is ailing our society. The corruption, you've talked about corruption from grassroots to the top level. Uh, just the other day, Adani was cancelled. That is corruption. So, what is ailing our country is corruption. Corruption at the grassroots. And this one in the county, it is called devolved corruption. Corruption has been devolved, and our people are stealing left, right, and center. Today, we have got governors in Nyanza who are building an hotel in Morocco, Rabat. We will give you that information here. Your money is being stolen, invested in other countries, and they are getting richer and fatter by the day. Yet the economy is growing thinner and thinner, while they are enlarging their pockets with our money. So next time we will be having another county, another constituency, another senator on this particular forum. But I want to thank you very, very much. We are deeply honored to have hosted you guys as the first pioneers of this particular edition of the Future Leaders Debate in Kenya. Otherwise, asanteni sana na muwe na usiku njema na
No,
kwaherini.
Mzalendo, before you finish, Mzalendo, before you finish,
Yes.
Yes, listen to
You are on mute.
who is on mute.
And now you can talk. You are on mute.
I don't know. I'm not on mute. You are the one playing the video. I've listened to Bob Kaluma and also Kevin. As you have said, I wish them all the best. And since we have a political show that happens here every day from 10 p.m., that is East African time, and I'm the host, then I think I should just have the direct contact so that we can be having these shows as we analyze politics in Kenya every day, because we have topics, we have bites from the politicians every day that comes from their congregations when they are attending various ceremonies. Because of course tomorrow, a lot of things are going to happen. We are waiting to hear the speeches in churches for those leaders. So if I can get all those Kevin, Hillary, those who are in the show, of course I was following the show behind the scenes, and I just depicted that they got that debate energy, so we can have them every day in the show here. I think that will be good for us. So I want to say it was a good one, and we listen to them, and we have the link live, so they will share the link to their social media. So remember to always keep it here in Afrique 24. We have every show here, by the way, political, sporty, ziko hapa, kila kitu iko hapa. So I think we can have them anytime, any day. Starting from next week, you can have us at 10 p.m. You always get that link. 10 p.m. East African time, you will get that link for live shows. And we have a lot of people who join. We have a lot of followers who join. So you can also talk to Kenyans. A word from your hand can help a Kenyan who is voiceless. So you amplify for him or her. So thank you so much, Mzalendo. Yeah. Ningekuambia kitu Mzalendo, lakini singekuambia sahi. Wacha umalize.
Whatever unataka kuniambia, kitu yote unataka kuniambia, I can take anything. There is nothing that I can't take. But kama ni chai, tumekunywa chai ya kutosha. Otherwise, asanteni sana. And Gypsy Corner all the way in Europe, amesema you guys were awesome. Gypsy is one of our regular here, and is asking, where were Boniface Kimanzi? Why were you behind the scenes? Yes, this guy was asleep behind the scenes. So, yeah. Otherwise, the link was up earlier. If Bonnie wanted to join, he would have joined very, very early. Asanteni sana, guys, for being part of this program. And see you next time.